Let's get going with this thing, and then pressing the button. So we're going to just go all the way around. There we go. Oh, there's some lovely lovely views there. Is that Africa? But I probably should spend it on something else. And this is not flat at all. In fact, I am going to fire every single engine we have got. We're coming in and I'm just looking and going, there is no effort. It looks like a goat has walked over this. You know, you live and you learn. Welcome back to Kerbalish, and it's episode 10, and we're going back to the moon, and this time we're going to land on it and bring back whatever we land. Last time that didn't count, so let's get going with this thing. And engines are firing, and this is of course a new craft for us, and it is it's a big one. 5 engines on the first stage here, all liquid fueled. We've basically doubled up our engine count. We have got Mardard in the pilot seat because it's about time I started using some new crew, I think. We have a couple of little vernier engines on the side there just to help it, and then it's basically similar to our Delta 3 craft that we've sent up before. This is the Delta, I think, well, this is Delta 4A. We'll see how it goes. It should have plenty of Delta V for this mission. Of course, we've got the separation motors and all that sort of stuff going on as well, and we've got fuel lines built in because of course we've got fuel line technology, which is always good. You should probably know how high we're going. First sets are gone, and they are gone, and we've got a bit of controller. That's good. We've still got a lovely bit of vectoring engines to hold us in position on that one. These interestingly, these little vernier engines are actually probably better than the Reliance that we're using once we get higher up. They actually have better efficiency in a wider range of pressures, so yeah, that's an interesting one. Right, we are just leveling out now, and I think we've got an inclination off by a few percent here. Let's have a look. What's our angle out? We're out by minus 4.5. It is going down. Oh, we've lost our engines. There we go. Let's get rid of those. There we are. And we're on to our final engine of the first stage. So this one's been running a long time now. This is our swivel. Let's see. So what we're actually doing is I'm trying to bring this prograde marker down onto the 0 mark, because I think that should help us. Minus 1.6, 1.7, minus 1.5, 1.4. We're going to keep doing this. I'm just keeping an eye on all this. When we get down to OK, I'll actually start pulling it up a bit. In fact, we're going to pull it up now because it's going to start doing its swing around thing. We're just going to put it up to there. There we go. So minus 0.9, 0.8. That's good. We like that. Right, now we can just focus on getting this thing into orbit. One thing we do need to do before we forget is actually extend our solar panels, because we have extendable solar panels. Look at that. So yes, this craft it's pretty much a bit like our orbital craft we sent up before, but we've added a couple of extra tanks. Obviously got landing legs, we've got some solar panels on it, so you know we don't run out of power. We've got the parachute arrangement as before. We've not got the sort of inner stage here with the extra stuff on. We've of course got a heat shield. We've got this, so this is our landing and return stage. We've got here is our transfer stage, but we should actually be able to use a big chunk of this to go return, and then this we can start as our landing cycle stage. In fact, we might get most of the landing out of it, which then means this thing can do a bit more sort of refinement. I can waste fuel basically. And it's that time to fire some engines. We're just going to wait for the last moment. There we go. We're going to fire that, and this should take us all the way. This should take us all the way into orbit, and then some actually. But we can just kill it there. That's good enough. So 80 by 90. I'm not fussed about that. Let's get ourselves to the moon. And what we could do, will this actually let us doing it from the current orbit? Can it? No, because the vessel's inclination is too high, but the vessel's inclination needs to be that high to go to the moon. Right, okay, so that's the way it works, is it? So when in an highly inclined system, pretty pointless having that skill, isn't it? Well, I was actually going to line things up and go for it, but I've just realized we're about where we need to be, so I'm just going to fire it because the moon is over here somewhere. We're gonna fire everything. We're gonna fire, better get rid of that and fire the next stage. There we go. So that one's going to be deep space debris around the Earth. I don't know what we're calling it. I'm a little concerned that we've actually gone late, and just let it come in nice and easy. There we go. Give me that. Right, there we are. So there it is. Let's just give it a little nudge. We want to come in. I actually want to come in this way, I think. Let me think. Actually, do I want to? That's coming that way. We're all orbiting this way, so we might as well come in this way. I mean, we're landing and then taking off again, so it's not like we're leaving anything useful in space. And then pressing the button. So we're going to just go all the way around. There we go. We're gonna go all the way. We're gonna land the other way around. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Here we are approaching the moon at pace. You may be wondering, you know, the last time we went to the moon, we actually took a little bit of, did we take science? I don't know if we did, but we've landed science on the moon. So why aren't we landing science? You know, considering this is probably our biggest ever rocket, why are we not, sea monsters, landing science upon the moon? And it quite simply, because the mission doesn't require it. We're going to grab a sample, we'll take the sample, we're going to put it in our pod, and then we're going to return it back to Earth. I just want this mission completed. I'm a little annoyed about the fact that it didn't complete last time. You know, you live and you learn, and then we'll just hold it on retrograde, because we've got that ability now, and we're just going to defire that engine. There we go. Just fire it, and we're just going to pull ourselves into orbit, and then we can start thinking about a landing site, and where we want to land, which would be quite nice, won't it? So there we are, we are now pretty much captured, and now all I'm doing is we're just bringing it down. So we're down at 26 there. If we take it down to 20 periapsis, then I'll be happy, I think. So where do we want to land? I'm thinking here. Have we landed here before is the question. Where have our landers gone down? We put one over here, did we? We've got a rover there. I mean, what would be really nice after the rover mishaps would be to land there and get that, but we're not going to be that accurate. We're going to just go for it. Yeah, around here anywhere is fine in my mind. Maybe to here. A bit further. Yeah, here. Warp to there. That would have been a nice one actually. But this, what is that? Is that a crater of some sort? We're probably going to be on the lip of it. Let's fire some engines now, I think. Yeah, let's just fire them all. Just kill it. Most of it down. What's the thrust on this now? It's a 4. That's good. That's actually a decent thrust, isn't it? So we can hold on to that as we get lower. There we go. 21 kilometers to go. We are going to be dropping like a stone. What we're looking for is a piece of ground that's reasonably flat, and this is not flat at all. In fact, pretty mountainous indeed. We're coming in, and I'm just looking and going, there is no effort. It looks like a goat has walked over this. If we just fire now, we could maybe land in this area, because the next bit is this bit here, and that is mountainous. That is pretty mountainous. Yeah, so this is going to kill most of our velocity, just this. So now I'm actually burning annoyingly. I'm going to get rid of that. I want to push back this way. Push us all the way back while we're falling. Let's see, are we going to start moving that? We are. There we go. We can now go into reverse mode. Right, there we go. I'm just rotating us into where I want to land. Right, there we go. Now let's put us into retrograde. Just need to be ready to slow us down a bit. Yeah, we are fine. In fact, we're going to be a-okay. So we're just going to let the engines run. This is where we want to land. This is going to be good. So now we're cancelling out all of our velocities by having this on it. Oh, it's beautiful. I actually love it. We can actually let that go a bit more. We're going to try and land nice and soft, but we don't know. I've not landed this craft before. It's a while since I've landed a craft like this on the moon. At all. In fact, on the moon, this would be the equivalent, wouldn't it? So we're going to just slow this down a bit. We can actually hold this for quite a while if we need to. This is not efficient, by the way. If anybody is taking this as an example of efficiency, it is not. We do not have collision matrix or whatever on the ground scatter at the moment. I have not put it on because I'm scared of it. Yeah, I think in a future playthrough I would love to have it on, particularly if it is actually like real world scale. So if it was proper RSS with ground scatter, I think that would be absolutely awesome. I think the ground scatter on this, I don't know, I'm finding excuses not to put it on, shall we say. Right, we're on a borderline here, aren't we, between two things. That's interesting. Bit of a pattern issue. Right, we've got about 60 to go. We're going to slow it down a bit. There we go. So we're going to hold it about 2.7. Let it just dropping down ever so gently. So once we touch down, I'm going to have to slam the engine off straight away and then turn SAS off probably as well, because it will probably try and turn. Now we're going to drop that down, let it gain up a bit. I think we're actually using a lot of fuel here, but I don't really mind. It's okay. It should be fine. It should be fine. There we go. Turn that off and we're down. It's definitely landed. It's definitely landed. Let's get out, get a sample, and then get ourselves home. How are we doing? Now, here is an interesting one. You can bon voyage. So we could actually land a crew member and get the crew member to do the walk. It's not a rover. It has to be a rover, doesn't it? So there has to be no crew. Okay. What flag will it be? I wonder what it could be. It is, oh, it's the Union flag. You've got one here as well. I didn't notice that. I think you are ready to go home right about now, even though we have a rock in our... Stop playing with stuff. And we're going to go that way. Yes. So are we ready? I think we are. There we go. We had a bit of a drag there as we pulled off, and it was almost as if it was pull up the ground. I don't know why we're pulling up the thing, because we're not in an atmosphere, so not a big issue. Let's just check. Am I actually going into orbit? That's the first thing I always like to check, is that I am actually going into orbit. We are going into orbit. Wonderful. What we could have done is actually designed this with a lower section with all these tanks that decoupled, and then had just this top section launched with some like little engines. That would probably have been a really cool thing to do, but I'm not doing it. In RP1, in the most recent RP1 playthrough I've got, built a lovely little thing that leaves a surface base with science equipment on, launched the top bit, surface base stayed there, you get halfway to orbit, and then all of a sudden it goes boom and explodes, because for some reason the bit that's left on the ground decides it's no longer on the surface, and anyway, it gets special. It gets very special. Right, we're going to go for a rapid return, I think. Yeah, we're going rapid return, which is going to put an awful lot of delta V into this, but it's only going to take us 2 days, so that's nice, isn't it? So we're gonna speed around the old planet there. Time warp I think is limited, and then we'll pop it into ProGrid, fire our engines, get ourselves back. We've got so much fuel that I can actually probably handbrake turn it into the atmosphere, and still land the thing, which is advantageous. So we're gonna just plop it into ProGrid, and we're gonna just let it do ProGrid burn. And then if we have to do any changes, we'll do it on our way to the Earth and so forth, or Kerth, or whatever we're calling it nowadays. Whatever the kids call it, I don't know. So what we might have to do is do a little bit of clever piloting. So we'll take it down to about 200. And what I want to do is I want to try it. There we go. So we're going to put it in retrograde. Right, we're going to roll it. I want it to be like that. And then I want to do that. And then I want to... I would like to do a bit about there. And what I've got to try and do is to try and keep my my periapps up a bit, so I have to fire downwards a little bit. And this is a little interesting little trick. You've got to fire up a little bit to sort of counteract the fact that you're now coming in at a slower speed, and you're basically slowing down your speed as you do it. So you see we're holding it about there. I actually need to point upwards a bit more, and it will start to go up. If this is too small for you, I apologize, but we're at 42.6. It's up to 42.7. If I go back towards my program marker, it'll start going down. If I go too far up, it'll start going up. And I want to hold it in about the 42 or more range. Probably 45 is where I want to go for. So I'm gonna aim a bit there. We've got a bit of thing there. What we're actually doing is we're bringing, if you notice, our apoapsis down. So we're actually killing a lot of the delta V that's in that apoapsis, which is good for us because it's got too much. There's too much delta V basically. We're over 3,000 meters per second, which in RP1 or something like that is not a lot, but in a Kerbal scale craft, it's a lot of heat, and I'm not sure what this heat shield's going to be like. We've already had a burn up incident earlier in the series, so I'm gonna take it a little bit easy. I'm going to be nice to myself. Oh, there's some lovely views there. Is that Africa? And we're going to decouple, and we're just flying over now. Is that, yeah, that's to Saudi Arabia down there. Bit of Abu Dhabi, Dubai, bit of Fujairah, Sharjah, Oman, and places there. Is that right? Am I right, or am I in the wrong place? Is that Africa? No, that's Saudi over there, isn't it? There's Saudi over there. So that's actually Africa there. Got Saudi, I think. Yes, something like that. Well, anyway. We are heating up on re-entry. It's taken quite a long time to re-enter. You don't realise how much delta V you actually carry in from the moon. And you see we are glowing red hot. I just need to check all the ablators. Easily got it. So this thing, potentially, this is the sort of craft we should be able to get back from Mars or somewhere like that. But in actual fact, I wouldn't want to send a single crew on that one. That would be a bit cruel, wouldn't it? Right, we are now slowing down, so we can slow down at normal speed. Deploy the drogues. Probably don't need drogues on this craft. Actually, we could probably just use a single parachute. But I like the drogues. I just think it's easier on the Kerbals actually. And of course, as always, we are coming down in the darkness, in the water. So that's going to be a wonderful view for you. Let's get back to base, I think. Mardad is back, and she has, correct yourself there, sea monsters. She has brought a lot of science with her. So we've now got over 300 science. We've got a big chunk from crew reports, EVA reports. Surface sample got us 135. if we'd have got, I was actually thinking about this, if we'd have got somewhere to store it, we could potentially have got 2 surface samples, and then we could have filled out the surface sample, because I think you only get like 75% of the data or something like that. We got EVA report there, which was 16. That was a nice surprise one. We got vessel returning from the surface, gave us a bit, which I think is actually the first. Yeah, it is the first time we've done that. No, we've done returned uncrewed ones, so that's not the first time. So that's a nice little bit extra. We got a little bit of funds. It's not really important. 300 funds, nothing. Mardad becomes our second level 2 crew person after Jeb, which is nice. I was going to send Val, because Val's like 3 points or 2 points away, which is basically like sneezing space and you get. We have completed a couple of contracts, so we've got crewed landing on the moon. We got 53 science from that, which is really nice. We got some reputation. We lose a bit of reputation because we're converting into science, of course, so that's like 70 odd. And then we got 185,000 for completing it. And then we get the science from space around the moon. So if we hadn't got that EVA report, it would have just been basically a crew report from space, and that would have still got us. It would have got that 3 extra science, so that's good. So we now have 300 science to spend. I really want to spend it on the nuclear engines, but I probably should spend it on something else. So mission-wise, we are getting a lot of missions. I should point out we've accepted a mission for ferrying 6 tourists basically around the moon. So in our ever-continuing hunt for science, we are launching another craft, and this is Podsy Kerman. He's expendable, let me just put it that way. So his mission is to basically go to the edge of the Earth-Moon system and grab some science and then pop back in and hopefully land without destroying himself. Now, we don't know if the heat shield's going to be okay. We don't know if the cap shield's going to be okay. In fact, we're not entirely sure that he's going to be okay. He should be okay. He's a pilot. He's a 1-star pilot, which gives us a prograde and retrograde on it. And this thing is just going to go up there. I'm going to let it sit on its prograde marker because we've got oodles of fuel. Oodles and oodles of fuel. We should have more than enough to get ourselves out there. We've actually basically just taken our moon lander, stripped the legs off, put some science on, and sent it out there. So there is plenty of delta V on this thing, because basically going to the moon is almost out of the sphere of influence. So, in terms of delta V anyway. We're about to lose our first stage. There we go. Get rid of those engines. Off we go. What's our periapsy looking like? We're getting up there, but it's not brilliant, is it? It could do with being better. I would like it to go more. There we go. Just hold it there for me. Thank you. We're just gonna go over 45, and then we'll pop it down a little bit. We are not going as much as I would like. Yeah, pop it onto prograde. I'd probably like us to stay there. Yeah, stay there. To go up a bit faster than this. This is a big heavy craft actually. It's probably this top section is exceedingly heavy. It's a lot heavier than the moon craft because we've got this science on board. Can you do me a crew report actually while I'm thinking about it? No, you can't. That's all right. There we go. And I suppose we could probably speed this up now. Yeah, let's get speedy up. There we go. It's gonna get through the heat hopefully and be fine. A little bit of get rid of those. We are now fighting ourselves. Get that normal speed. Right, there we go. Engine's gone. We had about 3 meters per second left in that. That's quite interesting. Right, put the solar panels out because we're out in space. We're probably not going to return to the Earth anytime soon. There we go. They shall gather some beautiful sun for us. We, of course, don't have a decent communication system on this because we're not planning on transmitting the science back. We don't have a scientist on board, so we can't reset them. So we get one go at it, basically. Right, I'm going to speed up time and get us out there. We are rising through the Earth system right now. I'm going to slow it down. As soon as I pop out, I want to then get there and then think about what we're doing. Right. Oh, bit more. That was a moon encounter, wasn't it? Yeah, we got a moon encounter. I'd rather not have a moon encounter while doing this, because that could impart an extra bit of delta V, which would not be good for us right now. Let's have a look. How are we doing? Oh, we're going to have another moon. We don't want a moon encounter. Do not want a moon encounter. This is a lot further out than I thought, actually. I thought it was just literally on the brink. I suppose it's only a little bit of delta V, though, isn't it? There we go. It could have gone flat. Actually, flat would have been more efficient for this, but there we are. We're out. Oh, no. To there. Don't go for a year, please. That would be problematic. We will never get you back. 1 hour. Right, warp to there. There we go. For some reason, it's having trouble thinking it's already backing in and out the sphere of influence. That's interesting. Right. Let's have a look. It's got 13 minutes. We can speed this up a bit. There we go. Have we still got power? We have power. We have everything. Keep all these things. That's good, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Exciting. We're going to log that, keep that. Okay, wonderful. Right, we're going to jump out. That one's not been observed, is it? Yeah. So we've got that one there, right? So you're going to EVA. You're going to collect that. You're going to collect that. You're going to collect that. And you're going to collect that if you can reach it. Yeah, you can. You've got very long arms, haven't you? And you're going to store those. You're going to board. Let me think. Is that targeting them? I think that there is the Earth. So we're just going to do that and fire all our engines. There is something happening here. There's something happening. It's going to be... There we go. There's definitely something happening. It's going to happen in the 6 minutes. Okay. Let's go for it. We've got lots of fuel, so I don't really care what our encounter looks like. Right, where's my... Oh, dear. Oh, dearie. Yeah, we're gonna have to put ourselves in retrograde now. No, I don't want to do that, actually. I want to put us in radial out, maybe? Because I want to broaden my approach, as it were. That's right. There we go. So a little bit more. Let's get up there. Perfect. I am going to fire every single engine we have got, but not quite there. Yeah, that's probably the thing. That's going to explode. Everything's going to explode. We are coming in pretty hot. Do that, and then fire that. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that's heating up. This is going to overheat any second. Oh, we've lost the solar panels. Solar panels have gone. The engine is still firing. How it's not overheated, I don't know. Just hold it in complete retrograde. We're now almost below. We're almost below the 2,000. Sorry, the 3,000 orbital speed. Concern is we're now going up. So we've actually slowed down enough that we're now going up. So we would have had to go deeper to actually capture. That's something to remember, actually. We, with this amount of mass, would go straight through. If we were lighter, we probably would have caught. That is... Oh, this is America. Is that America? That's the... Is that the side of, like, California? My American geography is terrible. So if that is not California, please tell me. And you can pick on me for that. Overheating has gone down. We've got... Apoapsis is now dropping nicely. We're just going to... You know what? I can actually speed this up. We just speed this up a little bit. Just get it over and done. So now the efficiency of this engine's gone up because we're actually outside of the atmosphere again. So we're just going to let this thing plop through the atmosphere again. It, of course, is going quite slowly now, so it should be a nice, easy atmospheric interface and slowdown. And I shall see you, unfortunately, on the dark side. Where are we now? Did we go right over the Americas? Is that South America down there? Is that? And then this is, what, Cuba, is it? Is that Cuba? Florida? Something like that? I don't know. I don't know. Tell me. I'm not probably in the wrong place entirely. Where on earth are we landing? This is interesting. If that was America, this is what, Africa, Europe? Something like that? I don't remember Europe looking like this. Oh dear. I think the greenhouse effect has gone horribly wrong, hasn't it? I mean, it could be the Netherlands. Let's be in touch. But then the UK would be over there. That could be the Channel Islands. Probably not. What is that south thing? Right. Parachutes away. Let's get this thing landed. Oh my, I think it might be the Netherlands because there are streets under the water. And of course the Netherlands is primarily underwater. Well, it's under sea level, a lot of it, because they drained a lot of areas of land to build it. And now they continue every year to build larger dikes and stop the water coming in. At some point they're going to get overtopped. But I think that the people of the Netherlands are probably capable of not having that happen. It can't be the Netherlands because I don't see any windmills. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to land on... Oh, I think we are going to land on solid ground. Yeah, I think we are. Just on the coast there. The green coast, obviously. Yeah, solid ground. How lovely. Welcome back home. And from that, we have got a raft of science. What have we got? We've got recover a vessel from orbit of the sun. We've got mystery goo was okay, but not great. That was from high over the Earth. We've got mystery goo over the high over the sun is 20. Temperature scan of 16, atmospheric pressure scan of 24, which basically told us there was no pressure. Materials bay 50, and then EVA got us 16. So that gets us 170. What does that get me? What does that get me in science world? It gets me... Does it get me EVA repair kits? It gets me Bon Voyage. It gets me an EVA repair kit. It gets me some cargo pods, the control experiment station. Now I could take that and then I could get close to this. What's that? 160. And 90, so we're 80 science off getting a space station, or we could go for landing stuff. No, let's do this, the science stuff. Is there any other science equipment you get with it? Where's the EVA science actually? There is an EVA science one. I bet you that's up here, isn't it? There is an EVA science task. That's EVA that. Is it further back? No, I can't see it. Is it further forward? I don't see it either. I'm sure. Wait, let's have a look. EVA. Let's have a look. EVA. That's got EVA things there. And this has got something that's got EVA, nothing. That's got, oh, there we are. EVA science experiments. We have it. Oh, should have sent a scientist. Well, we'll learn. We will learn. Maybe we'll send a scientist this time somewhere else. Right. Onwards and upwards. So if that was good for you, check out on the screen right now some links you can see other videos you might like. Check out the channel, see if there's any playlists you like. There's also some links to other content creators there you might like, or leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, do all those things.